It's the Rams Coaches Corner here for week number 7. Brent Baker here in the studio. By the way, the End Zone will be doing our entire broadcast live from Mineral Wells on Friday night from the press box in anticipation of the Mineral Wells Springtown game on 89.3 FM, 97.5 FM, and actually all of our stations, 88.5, 102.5, etc. After this message from Diamond Pharmacy, we'll hear from Gerald Perry, interviewed by David Bolnick.
Hey now, Shane White here with Diamond Pharmacy, located inside Metro Foods in Mineral Wells. We are so glad to continue our support of Rams football and Chuck FM radio. Diamond Pharmacy has served the Mineral Wells area for the last 30-plus years. For you, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 9, Saturday, 9 to 8, Sundays from 10 to 2. Our phone number, give us a call at 940-325-2541. That's Diamond Pharmacy inside Metro Foods in Mineral Wells. Go Rams!
David Bullock here with Coach Gerald Perry for the Rams Coaches Corner. Coach, the Rams come away from Waco with a big 38-21 win over Gonzales, a well-balanced attack. From the air to the ground, the Rams moved the ball very well, and Khalil Thompson had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Braden Fryer with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown to Gavin Pena. And Drew Huff, the starting quarterback, was 16 of 19 passing with 152 yards and a touchdown pass. Tell us about the game with Gonzales.
It was a great game. Excited to get down to Waco and get close to my hometown, and played many games in that facility there at Waco ISD. So it was a beautiful facility. We went into it like a playoff atmosphere to travel, a neutral site, and we used that to our advantage. And but it was a great game. Offensively, very proud of our kids. It's probably the best offensive night we had, rushing and passing the ball. They stacked the box, so we did all our RPO stuff and a lot of easy throws, and just did what they gave us. And then Khalil did a great job running, and we had some extra runs we put in for Fryer. He did a good job for the rushing touchdown, and then our little trick play we did to the tight end scored as well for that last touchdown. So a good night offensively. I think we had one fumble on a little RPO that we shouldn't have lost, and then one punt. Other than that, we scored every possession. So good night. Defensively was up against a very physical rushing team, which we've seen the last few weeks, and did a good job slowing them down. But they were very, very talented, big kids, and which we'll struggle with against those type teams, and bend a little bit, but we didn't give up a lot of touchdowns, and just a good all-round performance. Special teams played well in the game as well. So very, very proud of the kids that all went down there, the crowd and the band, all the different groups that performed on Fridays, and was able to kind of have a little preview of the playoff atmosphere.
Very nice facility in Waco. They were very accommodating for us there in the radio booth. Coach, tell us how you feel your non-district competition this year prepared you for the Rams' upcoming district action.
Well, we got a well-rounded non-district schedule. Ranch View got to see a lot of speed, which will help us as well. Iowa Park's a physical offense. This past game was a physical offense. And then playing Graham is just a close game, and always gonna be a tight contest when you play those guys. So we felt like we had a great schedule and saw a little bit of everything on the offensive side. And defense, we've seen odds, we've seen stacks, we've seen even fronts. So really everything that you could possibly see going into district, we've already seen, and it'll pay off. It's, tonight against Springtown, we'll see a 3-3 stack, and we saw that against Iowa Park. So you basically take that game plan, and it goes into Springtown, and you trick it up a little bit, and you're good to go. So it was a really good task for us, and we're lucky to be 5-0 coming out of that schedule, and just ready to get into district.
District play, of course, starts this week with a bang with Springtown, probably the highest-ranked team in our district. The Rams are starting district play at 5-0. The Porcupines at 4-1. Their only loss was a last-minute block kick by Graham. How do you plan on stopping the high-scoring offense of Springtown?
I don't know if we'll stop them. We'll slow them down. That's going to be the key. We've got a very, very talented running back. Quarterback is a very good running quarterback. They don't throw the ball quite as much as what they've tried in the past, but they're good up front and just control the line of scrimmage. And like I said, that running back that you'll see Friday night is a very, very talented big kid and can run and very, very powerful. So he'll be one of the best backs that we've seen this year, or we will see. So it'll be a big task for our defense. But we've faced great running backs so far, and we feel like we're ready for them. Defensively, they've changed from a odd front or an even front to a 3-3 stack this year, bring a lot more pressure than what they've done in the past. Multiple secondary coverages. They do a lot of prevent things against spread teams. So I expect to see Diaja double teamed at times tonight or Friday, and sometimes triple teamed. So they'll do some things to him, which when you do that, it's fewer people in the box, and we like to rush the ball and when people do that. So it'll be a chess match with what they're going to do. Like I said, they're very talented. They do well in track. Their kids are doing great things there at Springtown. Very well coached. So we've got a big task ahead of us. But what I'll say is we'll have to play our best game to win this one Friday night. And to me, Springtown will have to play their best game to win it on their side. So should be a very, very good game. We're excited about it.
Big game Friday night for the Rams. Coach, tell us about compare the running backs from Ricketts from Springtown and the Gilmore kid from Graham. How are they similar in their style?
Very similar. Again, the kid from Graham is a special running back as well. Springtown running back's a bigger kid, but very, very similar running style. They're downhill runners, very powerful, great speed, and they get in the open field, thick legs. So, you don't want to tackle them high, but if you go low, you better have a good form tackle on them low, because they will kick out of those arms. And so that's very, very similar. But to me, the Springtown kid is just a bigger kid, and it's going to be a big task to bring him down.
Springtown's defense actually has a couple of shutouts this year: a 61-0 blowout of Sanger, and then a 30-0 shutout of Kennedale. Mm-hmm. But they've also given up a lot of points in a couple of games to Glenrose. They gave up 43 points and 35 against Graham. How do you feel the Rams' offense will match up against Springtown?
We'll have to be balanced. They beat Kennedale, but Kennedale lost their stud running back first quarter, and that helped a lot for Springtown. Glenrose had opportunities to win that game, had a bunch of drop passes, touchdown receptions that they didn't get, and made some uncharacteristic mistakes against Springtown, and Springtown caused a lot of that with what they do. So I said we've got a big task ahead of us. But Springtown, they beat us last year. Felt like we should have won that game. Had some miscues in the second half. So our kids they've been excited to play these guys. But like I said, they're well coached. We're going to have a big task ahead of us. They got to decide they're going to stack the box, keep 6 in the box in that 3-3 stack. If they do that, you're going to get a lot of RPOs and passes. And when they start walking those backers out, that puts 5 back in the box, and that gives us 5-on-5 with a running back still to run the ball. So it'll be a chess match, but our offense is based on that premise. We could call 90% run or passes in this game, and it could be 80% pass just because of what the quarterback reads, because every run has a pass attached to it. So, like I said, it plays into our hand with what they do on defense. We've seen this defense already against Idle Park, and felt like we're well prepared for it.
I think the Rams' offense is versatile as the Rams are this year, with passing and running both. I think they have a really good chance against Springtown. Coach, of course, Springtown had a bye last week, as did all the other teams in our district. The Rams played a game. How does that impact the Rams, how you prepare for Springtown? How does that hurt Springtown not playing last week?
Well, there's pros and cons to both of them. We were able to play a Thursday night game, so we did get an extra day of rest. We go back to our early open day, and we prepared for our district opponents back then. So we've been looking at Springtown since that open week and kind of had a game plan together. Good thing is this defense on our side of the ball is we've seen this exact same defense just a few weeks ago. So you basically take that game plan, you slide it into this one on paper, and you start tricking it up and finding the mismatches that you need, and then take things that didn't work out and add a few wrinkles to take advantage of what Springtown's going to do to you. go from there. So really there wasn't a lot of game planning this weekend to do. It was pretty much finished, except for a few wrinkles and some trick plays and those type of things that we want to do against these guys if it becomes available. But not a lot. Defense will give them a lot of different looks tonight than what we've shown in the past. But those are things that have kind of been in the works for several weeks. So we weren't at a disadvantage, I don't think, playing that late game. Good thing is, on their side of it, if you need that extra week to get healthy, that's great, but you also went a week without playing, and sometimes that you don't play well after a bye week. So it just depends on if your kids are ready and how they handle those situations. But I don't think anything's going to matter tonight. It's going to be a great game between both teams, and whoever plays the best and makes the fewest mistakes will win this game.
Definitely the game of the year at Rams Stadium this year. Mineral Wells, Springtown, Friday night. Expecting a big crowd from Springtown as well, and they will have a lot of fans here as well. So, Coach, thank you for joining us. You've been listening to the Coach's Corner with head coach of the Mineral Wells Rams, Gerald Perry. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.